Hi, guys. Welcome back to another week's episode of What's Your Story? And I should say, Happy New Year. And on this week's episode, we have an artist, and I've just say I made it internationally, y'all, because we are coming all the way from Australia. So let's give it up for Jaci.Mp3.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. So we're just going to start from the top. And what is Jaci.Mp3's story?
Started in 2014 as a music producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I needed an outlet. And so I just used that as a form of therapy, I guess, because of what was happening that year and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I started off as producing, and then I did songwriting, and then I went to singing, but I didn't start recording my own vocals until the start of last year.
Oh, okay.
Not last year. I was going to say this year, but it's not 2020 anymore.
Right. So 2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and here I am.
Yeah. So before 2014, you weren't doing music or anything at all?
I was always interested in songwriting.
Okay.
When I was a kid, and I did write songs, but they were not serious at all. They were just weird little songs that I would make up as a child.
Right.
But yeah, then I stopped that and went to music production, and then
Okay.
from there. Yeah.
And so talk to me a little bit about your transition from producing being therapeutic to you to actually becoming a recording artist yourself. How did that transition happen for you?
So I ended up loving music more than I thought I would.
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess I took it more seriously than just making weird stuff in my room. And so I just went up and I was like, you know what? I actually want to make music and release it. And maybe some people can relate to my songs because it is mainly focused on mental health.
Okay, I want to jump back to the United States a little. How did you connect with Uzi?
Artistry. Artistry X.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of that?
No, what is that?
Okay. So Artistry is a multimedia company.
And can you talk to me a little bit about Artistry X and what that is and kind of how you got into it?
I was having a lot of trouble with false takedowns of my songs. They would just randomly be taken down from platforms. And I was cyberbullied a lot. Fun. So I was talking to my friend Jake, which is the co-founder of Artistry, and he was like, maybe we should do a contract and we can see if we can help you with that. And I'm like, okay. So I signed with Artistry X, which is for artists. So I'm the only singer, songwriter, producer on that side. But there are other digital artists, there's a web designer, there's a lot of different creative people on that branch.
That's cool. It's like a little hub of
a little team.
So, okay, well, I was going to ask about were you trying to transition music to the United States? But you've only been recording since last year.
last year, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do actually have a decent amount of people from the United States that listen to my music.
Would you consider yourself having a good following in Australia as well?
No.
No?
No, it's basically just my family.
Okay.
And my extended family. And
gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So do you think you would consider yourself trying to transition to the United States or have more of your music played out here?
I would like to.
Okay, so kind of talk to me. I'm still a little curious about your, I guess, journey, basically, on how you started producing and then you transitioned into actually recording yourself and like what I want to kind of dive more into what that is for you.
I produced for myself.
Oh, okay.
I would write songs myself, and because I wasn't comfortable with my singing voice yet, I would get my friends that were singers to sing over it for me and to just release it as an actual song.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I got sick of relying on other people, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so do you think you're kind of more in a transitioning phase of like getting better with singing, or are you like, dang, I could sing this whole time?
No. No. I'm not the best singer, and I would admit that. And I am trying to get better at it, so I can actually sing live if that ever happens.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm just like way off.
Right now I'm wow, that's okay.
I'm nowhere near.
That is funny. Okay. That means listen, practice makes perfect, right? You know what they say?
I mean, I've definitely improved, but it's still not good.
That's good. So I guess my next question for you would be, since you kind of are newly in the game, I guess I should say, what are some strides you think you're currently taking or want to take to really kind of progress yourself with your career?
I'm trying to, I guess, build some type of audience on social media.
Okay.
Before I really do anything massive, like maybe release merch in the future. Gotcha. Because right now I know that nobody would get it. Yeah. And possibly maybe releasing an album.
And so is that something we can look forward to from you in the future, is potentially an album and just branding yourself more over here?
Yeah. I would really like to travel.
So my next question would be, you sent me your project, Monsters Under My Bed. Are there any other projects that you have out that you're working on or that you want to talk about?
I have a single coming out soon this month.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the cover art, and then once I get that, I'll be like, hey, time to release this.
Yeah.
It's about climate change.
Oh, okay.
So, it's called We Owe the World an Apology. It's basically about climate change and how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. From my perspective. I'm trying to work on an EP.
You talk about mental health, climate change. So kind of talk to me a little bit about how your like writing process goes, or how like music influences you, I guess, differently than everybody else.
Firstly, produce something.
Okay.
Because I can't just write to it and then I'm like, what do I do with this?
Right.
So I firstly produce a beat. And then I'm like, okay, what kind of vibe does this give off to me? Right. Is it spooky? Like monsters under my bed that kind of gives me a Halloweenish vibe or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
And with We Are the World an Apology, that gave me more of an emotional vibe. And I'm like, you know what? Let's write a song about climate change.
Okay.
Because I feel like trash about it, and I want to write about it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's really what artistry and musicians do. They just, whatever they're feeling, and they jot it down and make it into a song.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Let's talk about your name, Jaci.Mp3. Where did that, I mean, obviously it sounds original. Like, obviously your name is Jackie, right?
Yeah.
And then MP3, like music player?
Yeah, basically. That's about it. I felt like
I answered my own
I
question.
just felt like it went well with the sounds that I have. Because I do make more of lo-fi chill music.
Gotcha.
And a lot of producers that do lo-fi, they always like having the file name on the end. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's just go with that.
Right.
It was something else. Like I've changed my name so many times, but I felt like my last name, I felt like nobody took me seriously enough. So I was like, I need to change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like that. Rebranding.
Yeah.
Evolution. Would you say that music is like a passion of yours, or do you think it's just like a hobby or something therapeutic, cool to do like on the side? Like where do you kind of rank your career?
It was just therapeutic and a hobby for me at the start. But then I'm like, and then it grew to a passion.
All right, guys, that's all we have for this week's episode of What's Your Story, raining all the way in Australia. So I want to say thank you so much, Jaci.Mp3, for doing this, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.